Yeah.
You could have pulled that off.
Yeah.
You could have pulled that one off.
Easily believable. Long-haired naked dude in 90210.
Yeah.
What's the best TV or movie van of all time?
18.
Yeah, the 18. Or the turtle van.
The Turtle Van's pretty good.
It's
right?
good. I don't know. There's something about that 18 band that was
You completely passed over
No.
Scooby-Doo.
Now you're saying the best. Now,
The best.
If at my age
Not
right
not
now,
the people that come with it.
No.
Just the vehicle.
Yeah.
You're driving around town.
Yeah. That you're saying the best all time. Yes, the 18 is what it is.
Okay.
Now, if you ask me if I could have one in real life, I would take the Scooby-Doo.
You would take this one?
Yeah. I love that van. I mean,
yeah.
to ride in, I like
Right. Right. Well, see, this one, they're both recognizable. But this, I think people love stuff from their childhood. So if you grew up watching the A-Team, you'd be like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But if you were like his age, if you're Aaron's age, you're like, that's an ugly ass van with a big ass red
Is that what you
hole
say?
down the side. That don't look cool. But I think this transcends. I mean, with as much they've done with that show, I think everybody would know that.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy because I was just talking about that, like growing up in the era that we grew up in, because we had the Rambo knife and, Commando was out there. Commando, Rambo, First Blood, all them films
All that,
made
yeah.
you want to,
Yeah.
made you think about, man, like being out in the woods and
Right.
learning how to survive and
Right.
this and that. And now you don't have them.
Yeah. Well, I want to be Bruce Lee. I mean,
Yeah, Bruce Lee coming up with karate and running through the house and kicking people and all that. Now you don't have movies like that.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. You go back and watch some of those now, though. I mean, they're good. I still like them, but production-wise and what they got today, it just doesn't compare.
But that's what part of it. Like the '80s horror movies, that's what made.
I
it
love
so great, 'cause
80s.
they're cheesy.
Look, I'm a huge Godzilla fan. I'm trying to own them all. Like I want to own all of them. Like
you should
physical
talk to my
copies.
cousin Pogie. She's huge.
Yeah, I like the Shaw Brothers kung fu movies out of the '70s. Those were great. They even did some with Bruce Lee. I like all that stuff, man. I dig all that stuff.
Okay. I was big in the '80s horror films, man. Like when
Nightmare on Elm Street.
even bigger than that was like I remember going on Fridays. What's the name of it? It was called Triple H Video.
Yeah.
And they go there on Friday nights and, go into the horror section.
Right.
And you get that just like chill because they have all these movies, just horror movies everywhere, man.
Stuff you've never seen advertised
like
before.
Faces of Death and Mondo, what was the name of that? It was like Faces of Death. It was like a knockoff of Faces of Death. And The Beast Within, all these old horror movies, man, they were just awesome. Just sit there and just watch them. There wouldn't be, I wouldn't be scared. I would get like 3, because they don't let you rent 3 at a time.
Right.
Back then,
Right.
back when they first came. So you get those 3 and the next day, man, Saturday.
Well, you had some good ones too. You had the monster movies, and then you had like the humans that were the monsters. Like I Spit on Your Grave.
Oh yeah.
Where the guys were the monsters.
House on the left, and those type of movies, man, and it was like to the point where, for me, I didn't even recognize like the nudity and things like that.
Right.
You think.
Yeah.
You're not even thinking. You're just thinking. Like, you're so engrossed in the film. It's like.
Yeah.
Shoot, these guys.
Yeah. There's a famous Friday the 13th with Kevin Bacon in it, young Kevin Bacon, and he tells his co-star they have a scene where they're like making out and
he gets stabbed through the bed.
Yeah, and he tells her before they start shooting. He says, "Look, don't worry about it. Like, don't be shy or anything, because nobody's going to see this anyway." Well, guess what? Now everybody goes and picks that one up so they can see that scene. Hey, Aaron, let us know when we're on. Are we on?
You're on.
All right.
Oh.
Well, Chase Parker, James Whitecloud, Brad Heath, Reel to Reel. This is something we're going to bring to you hopefully every week, maybe every other week. I don't know. We got busy schedules like this guy right here.
Yeah.
Tried.
If you haven't seen it, you need to go check it out. Dogs.
we were just talking about it. We don't. What episode was it?
Episode 8.
Episode 8. And you play.
I play Kyle. They didn't say specifically, but it could be Laura's dad.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah, that's right.
Okay,
So, spoiler alert. First of all, if you haven't seen it,
see it.
see it. And we're going to talk about that episode and probably some other stuff too. So if you're catching up, you might want to pause us, come back to us when you're caught up, because we don't want to give anything away. But the shows that have aired, we're definitely gonna talk about. And that episode particular, that was an impactful episode, I thought, because they really kind of explored what Laura's gone through with losing her mom and what her mom kind of meant to the community, right? And it probably could have been stopped, which is the sad part.
Yeah, with Big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's this season. I think it's been said, like a few times since what was it? The show with Tava and them. Tava's my cousin.
Yeah.
Beautiful. She's amazing in that. Those scenes, these last few shows, man. I mean,
yeah,
they
getting
something to us, man.
Getting you right in the feels.
Man, you just couldn't. Like I didn't know anybody that didn't feel something after watching those last 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah,
man. It was like, oh wow, I was talking to. They did the Res Dog thing where they came to Okmulgee after the show was over, and they teamed up with Crazy Eagle Media, Reservation Dogs, and Tulsa SPCA come together, and they come down to Tulsa, man. They spayed and neutered the pets, gave them shots, just did all kinds of things. Gave them leashes, cages, beds, and all. Man, they gave away Indian tacos and all this, and I had a chance to sit and talk to Sterling, and he was saying that they scrapped the original script and rewrote that in a week. Flew Lily Gladstone in. I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying that, but he flew Lily Gladstone in, and they made this episode.
Yeah.
It's like one of the most amazing things I've seen on
Oh,
television.
yeah. Which episode was that? Was that
That's 9.
9? That was 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
Yeah. That's the one that's kind of triggered all of it.
Right. Well, I mean, even when it kicked off in season 1, I mean, it had a buzz around it to begin with, and I think there were a lot of people, whether you were in the Native community or not, you wanted to check this out because one, it's the name is a play off of a movie that everybody, I don't know anyone that doesn't like Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
And to see them 4 in them suits coming down, and now we know that was after Daniel's funeral.
Yeah.
But to see them coming down that road, you just that photo alone made you want to see it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was telling someone the other day that pilot episode. I was fortunate I got to hang out on set, and I didn't have anything to do, just hanging out, and you can almost feel it. Whatever it was or whatever it is that was there, that's there. You could feel it on that set. It's the first time I've been around on a set that is just, at the time, it was majority of natives.
Yeah.
I met some great people. A gentleman named Dale Wasita, he was a sound guy. Man, he just passed away. And it's weird how close you get to these people, just through, I met him that one time, and then we stayed close through Facebook and, kind of cheered each other on, But people know he's been in the business a while, so he's established. But, to see him cheer me on and me,
Yeah. Well, you and I had met on a different project.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, we team up, on Res Dogs for stills and promos for those photo shoots in the wall, the orange wall right there that we see everywhere.
And that's kind of to me, it feels iconic,
Yeah.
You see it now because it's
absolutely
Everywhere.
Yeah.
What was your introduction to the show? I mean, did you know it was being filmed and everything, or did you kind of stumble on it?
I think just like everybody else in the Native community, everybody knew about it. Yeah. I probably found out when everybody else found out, and then first episode that immediately captured me, and I was hooked. And then I was trying to think. This came out while we were doing Killers, the first season, right?
Yeah, they were filming at the same time.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So I was just starting to get into acting at the time. So I had at that time, no ambition to do anything just yet.
Right.
And so.
Then you got bit.
Yeah. Then I got bit. Definitely got bit. Then I got to be on it.
Did you do anything in the first season? Any
No.
extra work or anything?
No.
So when you get the audition for season 2, was you like, man, I gotta step up here?
Yeah. That was. Yeah. I had done some theater stuff, and I had done a few background things, but that was my first. Here's your audition. Take it, learn it, go do it.
Right.
And I ended up actually auditioning, I think 3 or 4 times for different parts for season 2. And Chris Freihofer, shouts out to him. He kept on giving me opportunity.
Yeah.
And then finally got to be Kyle
Nice.
on episode 8. So.
Yeah. Well, and it's like you were saying. I mean, that episode and that scene, it's one of the best ones that they've shot, I think. I mean, because it's so impactful, because you get the meaning.
Yeah. I think you're left in awe after every episode. You just oh man, what are they going to do next?
They just keep out.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really a roller coaster, because you can be laughing one minute and then
Crying the
and
next.
you're contemplating, your mortality.
What I think they've done so well in season 2 is that they've given characters episodes. This is Bear's episode. This is Laura. This is,
Yeah.
And I think that is adding so many layers to the characters and so much depth.
Yeah, they were. They were never one dimensional, but just to learn a little bit more about them, and it just brought you closer to them. And it's weird that every episode hopefully it relates to everybody, but especially natives. There's things in every episode that you can pick apart and oh man, I remember that. Something like that. And it's it just takes us back to a time, because we've all gone through things similar to what they're showing.
Right.
So, man, it's kind of a bit nostalgic for a new show,
Yeah.
It's just, man, it's awesome. And then to see your friends, be a part of it. And because, like I said, I met him before we were on Killers, but, he hadn't done anything.
Yeah.
He was in training and things like that. And, to watch him kind of take these steps.
Step up and
And now you're on one of the biggest shows that I know, personally to me.
Chase, first time you watch the episode and you see it, you see yourself on there. What are you thinking?
I could have done that better. I could have done that, but no. Yeah, but yeah, it took me a couple of times watching it just to sit back and watch it objectively. And like you said, just to know what the impact of this episode on the whole entire storyline. Yeah, it was powerful. As I said, I think the director was what was his name? Black Horse Low. Yeah, he did a really good job using different camera filters and stuff.
Yeah.
It was really good.
I mean, I don't want to say you're a villain, but I mean, you kind of did something bad there. I mean, you're not on the Christmas card list or whatever. I mean,
preparation for the role. I know that you had to do some things, and it's part of the gig. You got to take up something that you've never done before.
Right.
Learning in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks prior or 3 weeks prior when I finally booked the role. They said, "Chase, you got it." Chris Freihofer, the casting director, tells me, "You got to learn how to ride a motorcycle." You got until production time. I think it was 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks to learn how to ride a motorcycle. You better learn how to ride a motorcycle. I was like, oh my God. Okay. So my wife put out, a mass alert. Chase needs somebody to teach him how to ride a motorcycle. Can anybody help him? I start looking at Harley Davidson. They want like $600 for lessons and all this. I was like, nah, I can't do that. I don't got time. I find my cousin, Loida. She has a friend named Nick who has dirt bikes, 4-wheelers,
Yeah,
and he
okay.
also rides Harleys. So I start driving 40 minutes north of Tulsa every day, getting on. First, he started me on a 4-wheeler just to learn the shifting and everything, get used to that, because I never been on anything like that.
Right.
So I was getting used to the shifting and stuff. Once I got to that, then he put me on a dirt bike. Once I got on the dirt bike, it was really hard to keep it started once you came to a stop. So I had to learn how to do that. So once I got that going, once I could start it with one kick and not look, like I didn't know what I was doing, because I didn't know exactly what the scene was going to call for yet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
you don't even know what you're going to be on yet.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a picture that they're going by and what they're trying to match me to.
Right.
And the bike does look like a little Honda bike. So I didn't know exactly what they're going to put me on. But once I got comfortable on the dirt bike, I still never was able to get out of first gear. But I didn't think I was going to ever have to get out of first gear, just for
Right.
these little shots. He let me drive his Harley. Only in his garage, and only got to go like maybe 5 feet, but just to feel the weight.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
yeah.
The
The
weight
balance.
Yeah, the weight
Yeah.
difference, the balance.
Yeah.
I've never been, like I said, never been on a motorcycle, so
Right.
that was crazy. And I was like, "There's no way I'm going to be able to do this. There's no way." But once I finally got there, I looked at my script, my sides, and then I saw a stuntman. I was like, "Oh, thank you."
Did you go find him and give him a hug?
Absolutely.
While you're on set, before you see that, are you sweating it, or are you nervous, or I know
Did
you're
you
nervous,
Did you
but-
tell anybody you've only gone 5 feet?
No. That's what everybody's telling you. You don't tell them anything. You tell them you can do it. You always say yes.
Always say yes. That's what that's what I say. Always say yes.
So that's what I did, and I was just. But like I said, once I got there, they gave me the sides, and I saw I actually had a stunt man. I was like, okay.
Nice.
So I kind of knew I was going to have one before, but I still just wanted to prepare, just make sure, and it still helped me because I knew how to balance it, because I did put it up and balance it with a passenger on the back.
Right,
So,
right.
and just little fact, the passenger, she plays Rita in Killers of the Flower Moon. Jana, I can't remember her last name at the moment.
I can't either.
But her
She's
dad,
Lily's niece.
Oh, okay, wow. But her dad was my stunt man, so that was really cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
He did a great job though too.
There's he plays the good guy in Miko, right?
Was it the good guy or the
Or the bad guy? He's the good guy.
He was the good guy in
Yeah.
Miko. Yeah.
Yeah, he plays the good guy in Miko,
One
another
is-
Sterling Hardy.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of ties to Killers of the Flower Moon, that work in and around the show, and it's pretty neat, to kind of reunite with them, man, because just being associated with that film is
Right.
some people are taking off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it was good to see them people, back in Oklahoma. They love being here, man. It's kind of warm. Some people have a problem with that, but
Kind of warm.
it's hot. It's hot.
No, it was hot.
There's a lot of opportunity this year for a lot of people to
Yeah,
get some screen time.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're not coming back to Reservation Dogs. What do you got? You got anything planned next, or?
I got something going on right now. The project in January. I don't know how much I can talk about it, but I do got
You
something.
probably can't say anything about it.
Yeah, I do got something going on right now. So yeah, I am working, and I just now signed with an agent. So that's
Yeah,
really cool.
Who's your agent?
Linda McAllister,
Linda McAllister.
out of
yeah.
Dallas, Texas.
Yeah. Know the name very well. I don't know her personally, but know the name for sure.
Yeah, it's I think they give you a. Forgot when I joined the union, and they give you a list of those agents in Dallas area that work, within the region. She's one of them, and I've heard a lot of good things about her. I mean,
You got to get in on some of that Kevin Costner stuff he's got going on.
yeah,
That dude is filming. I mean, he's
Taylor
sucked up all the
Sheridan.
money in Montana, all the money in Utah, all the money. I mean,
let's take it up here too.
I know it.
He's got it. He's been scouting here,
Yeah.
Nice.
so
Yeah.
it'd be nice to see what he brings here. They said 1883, and that's what you're going to try to shoot for.
What's that?
The 1883 Bass Reeves.
Oh, Bass Reeves, yeah.
That'll be it.
That'd be in Fort Worth.
Yeah. I know they've done about 3 or 4 films on this guy, and none of them had really blossomed into, being seen nationally. I think everything only been seen, it's not a large crowd. I think if Taylor Sheridan gets behind this thing, it's going to be big. It's going to be real big.
Yeah, for sure. He's gonna put the money behind it. That's for sure.
Yeah, Taylor Sheridan's been doing really good westerns.
Yeah,
that genre, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you auditioned for this? Did you audition in person or did you do it over?
For what?
For Reservation Dogs.
For Reservation Dogs, I did that over Zoom. It was still
Zoom.
everything has gone to Zoom. I still have not done an in-person audition.
You got off lucky then.
That's good.
That's what I heard.
It's a whole different thing. In person's a whole different thing.
Yeah, I prefer in person because you got to bring it,
Oh yeah, you got to up the game.
Yeah, there's a time, man. I drove all the way to Oklahoma City to get in front of Chris Fryhofer and forget everything. And you stand there kind of down. And Chris is a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's let me go back outside, and and I didn't get the part, man. I'm fine with it, but you drive 2 hours and it's a lot of time to think about it on the way back, and kind of grade yourself.
Sure.
I make a checklist and try to do those things right the next time. What's something you do in preparation for your auditions?
Well, I am still learning, so I'm still taking every bit of information I can from every teacher that I get, as each one of them tells me, they add something to my toolkit, I guess you could say. And right now, what I do because I used to just try to memorize everything as much as I could, but now I'm learning it's not so much the words, it's how much of the emotion that you can bring out into it. As long as you get that part and you bring the story along with the words that they have on paper, you got a really good chance.
Yeah.
So
that's I've always been under the impression, especially before COVID, that these are the words they want you to read. You read those words, right? After COVID, I think there's been this realization that if you ad lib a little bit or you go off script a little bit, it's probably okay, but you gotta not just read it. You gotta bring some emotion to the script, because you're sending in a self tape. It's hard to really judge those emotions on a tape, as it is in person. In person is totally different.
And one thing I don't think people get is that you can ad lib or just kind of switch it up, but you got to be good too.
Right.
You cannot just bring something new to it, and
it doesn't make sense.
Not acting.
Well, you either have it for that role or you don't.
Yeah,
it's either right
too.
for you or it's not.
That's true too.
And that shows. That'll stand out.
Yeah.
I've helped a lot of people do self tapes. In fact, my youngest daughter's got one. She got auditioned for a TV pilot that they're filming in Atlanta, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it Sunday. And so you have to understand as much of that character as you can possibly understand with what they give you,
mm-hmm.
and then think to yourself, I think this is what they want to see, and deliver that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you can do.
Yeah, that's the gamble. It's for me, there have been roles that I've auditioned for, and they're not me, and no matter how hard I try to make them me, you can't fake it. That camera knows.
Yeah.
And I kind of, when I do them, I kind of know, just like
if it felt good or not.
It doesn't feel natural.
Right.
So you send them in, and you get some kind of talk or good word from them, and but we're going to move in a different direction. That's fine.
Well, at least they tell you that. Sometimes
sometimes they don't tell you anything.
I've never heard anything back.
Yeah. There's been some where you don't hear anything.
That's a one thing. That's something I think every new actor gets a little shocked by, is that sometimes you're going to get 100 no's or 1,000 no's before you get that one that you land, that you you can build on.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've landed that one to build on, and your future, man. I mean, I'm excited for you because a show like this can help launch careers. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just appreciative of all of it. Like, just if this was the last thing I ever did, I'm just happy to be on it.
Hey, I
This
wasn't
is-
even in the show, and I'm happy that I'm attached in some little way.
Exactly.
I think I've told you this as well. My uncle loaned us a ladder to use just to get on top of this building.
Yes.
For that shot. And at first we were just up looking around and everything. And what was it? We had it about 3 days, 3 or 4 days, maybe longer.
It might have been longer than that.
I think it was.
Yeah, because
about
we were
3
there.
days
We
before
were
he
there
started
10 days
asking.
total.
Oh yeah, then we had a lot.
Yeah.
So it's about 3 days, and then he starts driving by the set like 10,000 people out there wanting his ladder.
Unc is looking for his ladder
Yeah.
and his paycheck.
Yeah, and he's wanting to be paid for this ladder. So it's just floating around the set, this and that. Then one day they pick it up and they put Bear on it, and they use it for the promo shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now my uncle's all proud of it, and it's nobody can use it.
It's a
You
movie
get
prop.
Yeah, it's a movie prop.
Yeah, but I tied a green rag on the bottom of it because we had it in the back of my truck. I'm sticking. I didn't want nobody to hit it. He still got my green rag though.
Oh, yeah.
I need my green rag back.
You just start charging him.
I'm about to charge him something. I'll send him an invoice or something.
But it's funny. I mean, that's the power of the show is that people are proud of it. My uncle had a ladder. And if you're there on the right day, he'll show you that ladder.
One of the things that I love about the crew and the group that is putting this show on is that they have really embraced the community in Okmulgee and the surrounding areas where they film, and to me they go out of their way to make things right and to make sure that everybody is informed and knows what's going on. And I mean, I don't know. You guys tell me. I mean, it seems like Okmulgee's really embraced the show.
Yeah. How could you not?
Yeah.
It brings a lot of pride to your town. It's not every day that you. For the Native community, it's huge.
Yeah.
When have we had this opportunity?
Yeah.
Not just the opportunity, but to see our people on a popular TV show that, the world watches.
Yeah.
Even if they just tune in to catch an episode, the world is watching. These people are looking at us. They were on the Emmys last year. They won a Gotham Award in New York City. They won another award in San Francisco, and they're representing us. They're talking about Okmulgee, to the world, because the world watches the Emmys. So. There's just a lot of pride, man, in the Native community, just from this show.
I love some of the subtle stuff that gets seen in there.
Yeah.
I've seen some OU stuff in there.
Yeah.
I've seen Tulsa Driller stuff in there. Of course, 1491 is in every episode.
Yeah.
I mean, every episode.
Yeah. What was it when we went to the premiere? They had the girls walk into a bedroom and there's all this OSU stuff, and the whole crowd just erupts and cheers.
Right.
That. And,
Sonic. There's always a Sonic cup somewhere.
Yeah.
Cheese and his Oklahoma Bigfoot.
Oh, there's
shirt.
so much just little native things in there. Like when they kind of do the thing with the allies,
right.
And Sonic's adding the S on certain things, Sonics, and just all kinds of different. So it's just little funny things that the world is kind of getting to peek into our daily lives, you know, because there's so much of it. I think I posted something the other day where Bobby, what's his name?
Wilson?
No, the guy he's the writer, but he was in the episode. That show, that thing I showed where he kind of hits him, walks in the door and hits him, And, I think that it's just that little stuff, that you don't see anywhere else where you hit.
Not Bobby Lee.
No, not Bobby Lee.
Not Bobby Lee.
Bobby Wilson.
Bobby
Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's the other guy, it's the writer, and they're walking into the house, and as they walk in, he hits him.
Right.
Oh yeah. You
gave
him that little tap.
Yeah, it's just things we did as kids. You see it on camera, and it's funny. And they use our words. And,
right.
It's like I said, man. It's a good time to be Native, and living in Omogie especially.
Well, the show touches on a very, very difficult subject, regardless of who you are, and that's suicide.
Yeah.
And that's a subject that touches a lot of families. I mean, when you're part of a show like that, I mean, you gotta think to yourself, you know, that piece of it alone is important, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it touches on that. I think it's going to get. I think season 3 is going to be wild.
It looks like
I
it.
talked to some people, and you know, but yeah, I think suicide is what sets him on this mission to get to California. You know, from the very beginning, that was the plan. You know, and I guess in the back of your mind, in the back of their minds, it's always there. That suicide is always there because you see, and they're talking to him every episode.
Well, you see the result of what happens to friends and family when there is a suicide.
That as well.
You see his parents, you see his friends. I mean, you see the community affected by it, and I think that's probably a subject that a lot of shows would steer clear of, you know, because it is a very difficult subject.
Yeah.
They embrace it. I mean, they hit it head on.
Yeah, and I think that's the key to a lot of their stuff. They're not tiptoeing around it. You know, it's we're going to talk about this and we're going to make it funny. We're going to make you cry. We're going to make you think.
Yeah.
And make you watch again next week. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
And they accomplished all that. You know, I think it's awesome. Just, like I said, when I was asked, you know, you want to do background? Hell yeah, I want to do background. You know, and I want to be a part of this any way I can. And you know, went and did it. And in a week, I worked for Martin Scorsese, Sterling Harjo. You know, was on set with Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro. You know, all that.
Yeah, Brandon Fraser.
Fraser. And then you turn around and then you get to be part of Reservation Dogs.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you talk about that's in a year. You know, how many actors get to do that? You know,
There's not many.
Yeah. You know,
There's not many.
Especially starting out actors like me.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And it's something to be, you know, kind of hang your hat on.
I know I dropped everything
Yeah.
to be a part of it behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That's not even in front of the camera. I mean, that's because I think there are shows that come around, whether movie, TV, whatever, that if you're in this industry, you just feel like you need to be a part of it. And when it's in your backyard, you have to be a part of it. I mean, you just have to.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt about this one. And you know, it was an experience that was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, very rare do you find. You talked about that energy, right? You talked about, you know, that energy on. There was just something there. Very rare do you find that can be carried over time and time again. Every episode, everything that they do, and I'm, you know, when we're driving around town, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm a part of this. Like I've got something going here, and I'm proud to be a part of it. You know, and obviously, and I'm not native, and you have native workers and actors and people on set. I can't imagine, you know, for them. I mean, for you. I mean, it's got to be amazing.
Yeah, yeah, and see the kids, you know, that are stars because of this. You know, they're seeing the world now.
Yeah.
You know, and
We can do this.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're showing all these other kids, you know, from Omogie, Oklahoma. That, you know, that you can be a part of this. You can even, and that's the thing is that I know it isn't everybody's dream, but just for a little bit, you know, if you want to be a part of something, be a part of this, and you get to be a part of it, man, it's a big deal. And you know, I know people that you know are in an episode and they go to the Circle Cinema. Mm-hmm. They're treated like you know, movie stars because they're in that episode,
Right.
and it's got to feel good.
Yeah.
You know, to be celebrated, even if, you know, for a day or whatever.
No doubt.
So yeah, I take big pride. You know, Indian word, I guess, big pride. But you know, I take a lot of pride in being a part of it. Anybody ask me, you know, I did this, I did that. You know, maybe I'll be on next season, but I
Right.
don't know. Who
Yeah.
knows?
You never know.
But I'd go back and do scouting again
Me
in a
too.
heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
And
I'll drop it all.
yeah, we had fun.
Chase, you played Kyle.
Yep.
I have to admit, Kyle's not my favorite character. Although I thought you did a great job.
Second time you said something.
My Willie Jack,
No.
Oh,
Paulina. I mean, she's my favorite.
Yeah, she's. That is my family. I'm from half my family lives in Montana.
Yeah.
Her accent, the way she cusses, everything.
Right.
That is my family from Montana.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
them to a T.
Whoever's in the writing room delivering her lines, they're spot on with that.
The thing is, Paulina is not acting.
It's her.
That is
Yeah.
her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We went and rode horses. I'm not supposed to be telling this either.
We'll edit this out.
Yeah, DeFaro and Paulina said they want to go ride horses. Or DeFaro said, "Hey man, I want to go ride horses." This is
DeFaro plays Bear.
Yeah, DeFaro plays Bear.
Yep.
And he's like, "Man, I'm getting bored." He said, "Man, we need to go do something. You got any horses or something?" I said, "Yeah, we got some horses." And at the time, I was thinking of my buddy Cody Crank. He's down in Tishomingo, and he took us on a trail ride. A few months prior to that. And so yeah, man, I said, let me call up my buddy, see what he's got going on. He goes, well, I'm gonna go tonight. I said, oh, okay. So I said, man, I know some people that got some horses. I said, but the only place to ride is a pen around here. That works. So he goes, I'll see who wants to go. I said, all right. So I'm thinking, he'll get busy and finish and forget and this and that.
Yeah.
He called me like 30 minutes later. He says, hey man, are they ready to ride? I said, what? He said, we want to go riding. Oh, okay. It's kind of getting dark. And I say, well, yeah. So meet me at Travel Plaza in about 30 minutes. I drive over there. He's already sitting there. He said, man, Paulina's on the way. Debbie was busy. She was doing something else. I forget what he said she was doing. She's gone. Lane was back home because they had the week off.
Yeah.
And the next day, Paulina was flying back out, so she wanted to go ride horses before she left.
There you go.
So let's go get on these horses. So we get on these horses, or we get to the arena. DeFaro jumps on this horse. It's a big horse. DeFaro jumps on this horse and says, where we could just ride anywhere. Yeah. So he takes off, and he's flying. He comes back. He goes, how do I make it stop?
As he's going by?
Yeah, like, we're like, what? And he's like all over the field, just all over. And all I'm thinking is, if he falls off this horse and gets hurt, I said, man, Sterling's going to kill me.
Yeah.
And I'll get sued by Reservation. Anyways, he rides back around. He doesn't know how to ride the horse. He didn't let us set the stirrups. So as he's riding, he's kicking the horse and it's going faster.
No.
Running.
That's it.
We're able to stop and get him off. Paulina pulls up. Getting darker. Her and her boyfriend pull up. And they bring out this horse. There's a bigger horse than the horse that we had. And Paulina's boyfriend jumps on it. They kick off their shoes. And this is a big old horse. He's a little bitty. He's the same size as Paulina. He jumps off.
They took their shoes off?
Yeah, it's cold. He jumps on that horse. And man, he just takes off everywhere. No saddle. And I think I had a bridle on it. But he made this horse go sideways and do all this stuff. Yeah, he jumps off. He helps Paulina on. Paulina's, I couldn't even say nothing. I was so scared. She jumps on this horse and she's doing the same thing, making him do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
And I was totally blown away.
Yeah.
And she says, yeah, that's what he does. He does those
Relay races?
relay races with the horses.
Wow. Yeah.
And back home in Canada, and she does it as well, and then to see her go home and participate in that,
Yeah.
I was like, man, I believe it. She can do anything she wants to.
Heck
man.
yeah.
She's a strong young sister, man.
Yeah, that's a bad girl right there.
Yeah, because she jumped on that horse. Oh, but my daughters were there, and her friend was there, and she's like blown away because, like, you're just hanging out with these people,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And first thing Paulina says is like, "Fuck, it's cold," you know. and my daughters are standing there, you know, and they're just used to it. I mean, it's just from the show, you know. It doesn't faze them. And you know, Paulina is not acting. That's Paulina when she's on set, off set.
Yeah.
You know, it's been fun just to be on set, to be around them, to see it, you know, kind of grow through this show, man.
Yeah.
And it's a real magical thing.
What I like is the subtleties that she brings to that character. I mean, it could be her, and it could be her subtleties as well. You know, little things like, you know, taking the earrings off before she's got to, you know, she's about to fight somebody. You know, or throwing a line in there where most of the time you would say a line like that where people would go, what did you just say? You know, where she says, they were asking about Daniel's mom and how was she doing, and she said, oh, she's doing all right, smoking paper cigs and, you know, whatever. What do you mean smoking paper cigs? Like, is she rolling tobacco and paper? And no, she just needed something to hold in her hand to make her feel like she had a cigarette, you know. It's little lines like that she delivers with precision, with timing, and it's just perfect.
Yeah, everything is just A1 with that show.
Yeah.
They picked the right people. They got the right writers. They say the right things, and
yeah,
it's amazing.
Well, a lot of people like Spirit, that character. I know a lot of people like Bear, obviously, because he's been great in that role. And there's been some other guys that have really stepped up. I think the guy that plays Kenny Boy, he's been great.
Yeah.
And this episode with Big, that was a great episode.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that they're not afraid to poke fun at other people and themselves.
As well,
Yeah.
Another friend of ours, I don't know if you've taken his class, Daryl Cox was in that episode.
Yes.
And it was, you know, just to see him, because I've always taken him as a serious actor.
He's like a ninja. I mean, I mean, he
just pops up, and I was like, "Wait, what?" And it was cool to see him do his thing in there. But besides this, and I think this is what we were supposed to transition to in the beginning, was talk about some of your favorite films. What is something you enjoy watching when, you know, you're not filming Reservation Dogs?
Man, there's like I grew up on movies, so there's so many. I grew up in the 90s, so any 90s action movie with Steven Seagal, anything with, you know, the Terminator to, I just watched the new, I like all the new action movies coming out now. They're all great. But my favorite movie
action
would be, when growing up, that's, like you said, Rambo was awesome. My very first movie I saw in a movie theater was Ninja Turtles. I was 5 years old. And I think my dad took me to it, so it was just, you know, it was a big thing.
Yeah.
So, and then after that, just started, movies every Friday. Like you said, we go Friday night to the Blockbuster or whatever renting place. You rent some movies, and then you just watch them over and over again. It was great, but.
You don't have a favorite actor or somebody you enjoy watching?
Not really. Like I just like movies in general. So, but there's not like a favorite actor at all. I like to watch actors act. I do, especially since now that I started taking classes, and now that I'm in this arena now, just starting out, I like watching actors act, even if it's bad acting. I like watching it just to see what's going on. I like watching, you know, the great actors. Probably Brad Pitt. If I had to pick one person, Brad Pitt, because I like the way that he's always chewing something while he's acting.
Yeah.
I saw that. I tried to do that in one of my auditions. So, but I would say Brad Pitt.
That's cool.
Any movie he's in is always good.
He's got a new one out too, I think. Bullet Train.
Bullet Train, saw that. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't even tell he's getting older. I said him. He's what, 50?
Yeah, some of those guys,
60s?
man. I don't know how they do. Like
60s.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, Johnny.
He's looked the same age for 20 years.
I would say Brad Pitt. I love watching Brad Pitt, man, and I love watching Malcolm X. Denzel is just, I mean, he transforms into another person. But Brad Pitt, he can take on those personalities. I watch Snatch at least twice a month. just because of him, you know.
Yeah.
Just like as an actor, I haven't found that way to become different characters. You know, I can't do the comedy the way, you know, like he transitions to these characters, and I found that I hit a wall when I try to do like be funny on camera on purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just marvel at these guys that can do that. You know, I feel like, to me, De Niro can't do it.
It's
He's
hard.
not really.
He doesn't have that. It's the timing.
Yeah.
It's the timing. And yeah, now that you mention it, like when he's doing his funnier roles, it's not. He still does his thing as an actor, but it's just like you said, he can't be the funny guy. He always has to have somebody else around him.
Yeah.
Comedy is the hardest thing to do, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's just, you know, you either have it, you're either funny or you're not. I mean, you can take a guy like De Niro, straight guy, very serious, dramatic actor, and one of the greatest actors of our time. But you put him in these roles, and that's what makes it funny, is that he's that dramatic guy in that Meet the Fockers kind of role.
See, that's what I was gonna say. I could never buy it.
Yeah.
I couldn't even finish watching it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just, what's he doing? You know?
We'll edit that. We'll edit that part out too,
Yeah.
because you'll never work with him again.
But I love working with him.
Yeah.
So Brad Pitt is one of your favorite. You don't have really like a favorite movie or anything that. I mean,
I guess
it's okay
Rocky.
to say you like The Notebook.
Notebook was good though.
Oh.
It was good.
Who doesn't want
Like,
to
like
work with,
I've watched. I have a wife, you know, and I've been married a long time, so I've been going to rom-coms and, you know, seeing all those movies for 20 years now.
I've seen Under the Tuscan Sun probably 25 times.
I never even heard of that.
Yeah, well, it's a wife movie.
Oh.
So, like Chase is saying, I've seen it because she's seen it. So, yeah.
She gonna say, I've seen it like twice.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's kind of like your Beverly Hills 90210 stuff. Your memorabilia you keep bringing in.
Yeah. Special time in my life.
Right.
So,
But Rocky, Rambo, those two are probably, all-time favorite. That and Goodfellas. Like those three movies I can watch on repeat. Doesn't matter how many times. Over and over and over.
I can't remember the last time I seen Rocky.
I can go line for line. That's a great movie.
Oh, really? I showed my daughter the egg drinking scene. What I remember, I thought it was like 3 eggs, and then when I showed her, it's like 7 eggs. I was like, "How in the world?" I said, "He had to throw it." I'm gonna ask him next time.
I don't know. They say he's all in, man.
Yeah.
They say if he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it. You're gonna see it.
Man, to me, when I was watching him, I was like, "Man, how's this guy in all these movies? You know, how does he?" Because it seems like he's like De Niro. You know, he's like the same person like all the time. Like, it doesn't matter the situation.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
And then, like, you get to see him work, and it's like, that's why this fucking guy is.
There's a movie called Cannonball. Not Cannonball Run with Burt Reynolds, but Cannonball. And I think it's a 76 probably. There is a scene in that movie where a guy is trying to get a loan from some mobsters, right?
You posted this.
Yes, I did. And in the scene, acting is Sylvester Stallone, and he's on the couch with the guy trying to get the money, and sitting to their right in a chair is Martin Scorsese.
Oh wow!
And they both have lines in it. No credit for Stallone in that movie. Scorsese's got a credit as like a mafioso is what his credit is. He's a mafioso. He's not the director. He's acting in it as a mafioso with Stallone.
So he had already done like Raging Bull and all
Yes,
the other
yes.
things. Just
Which
everything
which
set
which
up.
makes me think, you know how it is in this business. You start making connections with people, you get to know people, and then all of a sudden, this guy's producing something, and he says, "Hey, that Chase Parker guy, let's call him and get him to audition." And all of a sudden, there's a reason why guys like Scorsese work constantly with Leonardo DiCaprio, because he can trust him. There's a reason why he uses the same first AD and same crew and because he trusts them, and you eliminate a lot of those unknown X factors, because if something can go wrong, it will go wrong on a movie set. It's almost guaranteed. But you eliminate some of that by bringing in the people you trust. And who knows, maybe he had some kind of connection to the people doing Cannonball back in the mid to late 70s.
Yeah.
And decided to act in it.
Yeah. Or you owe somebody a favor.
Right.
You gotta be okay.
That's it. Yeah.
I feel like that happens more now, from what I've seen, than because like I've been a part of some productions that I like years later I said, man, why were you in this?
Right.
And he was
Right.
like, well, I owed them a favor. They gave me producer credits and this and that.
There you go.
Oh, okay. So. It's kind of a I'll scratch my back. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type of deal. That you don't know until you get into the business, and
Right.
that, like you're fighting for these roles, and these guys are saying, "Man, I can't believe I did that."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why?
Well, it's cool, Chase, that you've got something coming up, this January. I know we can't discuss it, but I'm sure we can probably have him back on and we can talk some more about
definitely.
the new stuff you got coming up. And I know, James, you're always busy. You're always working.
Yeah, always
You're always
working.
doing something.
Trying to stay busy. I got Tulsa Kings,
Yeah,
November 13th.
that's right.
So
Yeah.
Wow, I can't wait to see
Do
that.
you know if anybody's going to have any type of premiere or anything in Tulsa?
I haven't heard anything yet. Of course, it seems things don't happen until like a week before. Hopefully, we get the kind of reception. Reservation Dogs got.
Yeah.
Circle Cinema kind of jumps on board and
Yeah.
shows it to people.
Right.
Because it's weird that not a lot of people have Paramount. It's
Yeah, maybe the ones in Tulsa and Oklahoma City, that number's going to jump a little bit when that does come out.
Yeah, they use a lot of more Oklahoma City.
Yeah,
than
it
they
was a
do
lot in
Tulsa.
Oklahoma City. Yeah.
They did. Man, I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything about that either. I better not say nothing.
It ain't out yet. You better hush.
Yeah, but I think people are gonna like it.
Well, and I did read that they have been picked up for another season.
Oh, nice.
Who did?
Tulsa King.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
I know Stallone did not like the heat.
Yes.
We had a hot summer.
Yeah, we did.
It was
Yeah.
hot.
The heat was not his friend. I seen him shoot a scene about 15 minutes, and he'd take his jacket off, and he was just covered in sweat.
Yeah.
And man, he was going through that, and unfortunately, got the divorce. And
Yeah, that came out too.
yeah,
That's unfortunate.
Oh, really? I didn't hear about
He hates
that.
Oklahoma, so hopefully they come back.
Yeah.
And film here. When I say here, I mean back in Tulsa.
Yeah, sure.
Because I don't know what the draw was to Oklahoma City, but I know that a lot of it was the set.
Yeah.
I wonder, was it Prairie Surf? Did they use that?
Yeah.
But now that we got that set up in Owasso,
Yeah, but man, they used every bit of that Prairie Surf, and that's a big old place.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It's huge.
Excuse me.
Yeah, we even looked at the Cherokee Film Office. They've got that VR screen in Owasso, big sound stage up there, and we went and checked that out too, because the phone call I got was we need a wall and a sound stage. So I went straight to Jennifer and everybody at the Cherokee Nation and said, hey, I need a sound stage. And then lo and behold, we're just down in Okmulgee and shooting at a wall, But I think things like that are going to help not just Tulsa, but Oklahoma get work.
Yeah. They're saying we got to build the infrastructure to handle everything that should be coming down the line.
And I'm glad that the tribe, that Cherokee Nation, is taking that seriously and actually putting money behind it. And built the sound stage.
for sure.
They have a film networking thing that you can sign up for.
Yep.
They got all kinds of stuff going on.
That and the incentive that the Cherokee Nation is promoting.
That's huge.
I think it's just a great opportunity for a lot of people, local people.
It's a good time, and they deserve. Of course, there's the rebate in the state of Oklahoma, which we're finding out is pretty hard to get. But the different nations in the state of Oklahoma are doing a lot to help grow this film community, even from like the tech schools. I know like the Kiamichi Tech and Northwestern Tech and some of them other places are offering classes that are specific to the film industry.
Yeah.
And you talk about infrastructure.
The OFTA
That's what we're talking about.
Kicked off. Too,
yes, they have a school.
Training.
Yep.
And stuff like that. And they hit me up. They said they wouldn't know if I want to learn how. No, I work too hard, man.
Yeah.
I want to be an actor.
The crew works.
They
do.
When you're watching those credits roll, and you're just you want to shut it off. I don't shut off the credits anymore.
That's what
because they deserve to have their name go across that screen.
I want to speed read through this whole thing because these people work their ass off.
Yeah.
And
first one's there, last one's gone. Those are those guys.
No doubt.
Every day.
Yeah. What do you got going on, Mr. Heath?
Oh boy. Well, so like Chase, nothing I can really discuss. But it looks like we will be in Utah this January for a project, about 25 days worth.
Oh, nice.
Should be fun. Fingers crossed that season 3 calls me for Res Dogs.
Yeah.
And, all three of us might be on that set, together, which would be great.
Yeah.
By the way, I did audition for a role in Res Dogs, and I'm not bitter that I didn't get it. I wasn't right for it, but there's a scene early on. I don't know if it's episode 1 or 2, but the girls are being chased through a hayfield. The guys I was trying to be one of the guys in the back of the truck. I guess I wasn't redneck enough, so I didn't get it, which is okay. That's okay. I can live with it.
I think they were more hillbilly than
okay.
than redneck.
I debated on.
And Justin Parks fit the part.
Yeah, right. Well, I debated on doing the self-tape with or without a shotgun. I went without. I know.
You got to push
it. Bad choice. You got to push the envelope.
You know who Justin Parks is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So.
No, I watched the episode and I was like, yeah, those guys are perfect. Good job.
Yeah, Justin. I didn't, and then I didn't really talk to him on set or to shoot. And then when they did the thing in Oklahoma City with the people from the Hill came over and hung out and listened to, everybody talk about the movie industry to him and everything.
Yeah.
So I went out there and I met with him and a couple of other people. We sat and talked. Man, he's a real good guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
He was a bit. All right. He probably thought I was standoffish as well, but you're working.
Sure.
And you just didn't have time. Well, I mean, he was busy, so we finally got to sit down and man, I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Catching up with him with that.
Yeah.
So he's staying busy.
Oh, I bet.
That's good to see.
I bet. Where can we find you on social media? I know you got that Instagram up somewhere, right?
Yeah. Got the Instagram. I can't remember, what is it called? The Real Chase Parker. Then Facebook, Chase Parker. Not the one with the horse. The other one. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, that's it right now.
Awesome. Nice. James, you got anything before we get out?
No, sir. I'm a man. I had a good time. Kind of peeking into what makes you, or what helps you get ready for auditions and your favorite films and stuff like that. And hopefully, later on down the line, we can have you back and you can talk about some things that you worked on and what it's like to be a star.
Yeah, trying.
Absolutely.
Hoping.
Well, and also thank you for being number one. I mean, you're our first
first
guest,
guest.
first guest.
I am honored to be here.
I mean, we got Kyle in the house from Res Dogs. I mean, what else could we ask for?
Yeah, he's no bike riding.
5 feet, it counts.
Yeah.
It's got to count somewhere.
I can start
I'm
it,
talking about
stop
in the
it.
episode. He crashes in the episode.
Hey,
Wow.
hey, shout out to the stuntmen.
That's
all I
right.
can say, and women who put
Yeah.
their bodies and lives on the line. All right, Chase, we're gonna let you get out of here, man. For James Whitecloud, I'm Brad Heath. That's Chase Parker. Check him out on Res Dogs. If you haven't watched the season 2, you need to get started on that now because it's a tearjerker. It's a laugh riot. It's everything that you want out of a show.
Yeah, you need to go back and
Absolutely.
watch 1 through 2, 1 through 10, both seasons.
I can't wait to own them.
Yeah,
I can't wait to
that's
own my own
great.
copies.
Yeah, because you know that walls are going to be on.
Oh yeah, if that wall shows up on anything, I'm going to own it. Trust me. I had a friend out in L.A. said, "Hey, aren't you doing something with this show?" and took a picture, and it was our wall on a billboard in L.A.
Wow.
That's what I'm
That's-
talking about. All right, we're going to get out of here, y'all. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And check back with us. Hit that like button, and make sure that you check us out in the future. Chase Parker, he's going to be back. And
Yes.
he's going to have more stories.
Yes,
Yeah.
more stories.
All right,
More
we're
work.
out.
Thank you.